Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. In today's video, I'll be using some beautiful floral designs from the Washi tape shop. The first two rolls I'm showing you can be purchased individually or you can buy them as a bundle. The bundle is called Clover Haze. This first design I'm showing you is the Zephyr Bloom, and these are pre-cut, so all those images will simply peel off. You don't need to do any fussy cutting. I have these in the washi tape, so that's the paper tape, but they're also available in PET tape, which is the clear plastic. The other roll that's part of the bundle is called Clover Haze. Each roll is 5 meters long and the designs start to loop around 100 centimeters. I love the gorgeous designs, butterflies, florals, there's some cute little bunnies. There's even one wearing a spring hat. The other floral design I'll be using is sold as a set. This is the Auric Rose Washi Tape sticker set and it has gilded gold detail. This is only available as washi tape and it comes as a set of 3 rolls. Let me open the package so I can show you the beautiful designs. I will have links in the description box below, and if you are shopping at the washi tape shop, make sure to use my discount code KristieM10 to save 10%. Here's a look at the 3 rolls that are included in the set. The colors are just stunning. There's orange, pink, black, and then that gold gilded detail is so pretty. Each roll is 5 meters long. The designs do start to repeat a little more often than the previous bundle, but since you have 3 rolls in the set, you still have a wide variety of assortment. The very last roll is this beautiful floral border, and it's also cut out, so you don't have to worry about fussy cutting around the flowers. For my cards today, I'm using 4 of the floral designs that I just showed you. The only one I'm not using is the floral border. Here's a look at the other main products I'll be using. I have Waffle Flowers Postage Collage die. This is the A2 size. For a sentiment, I have Love from Lizzie's Under the Sea set. I'm only using the 1 sentiment at the top, a happy hello, and I'll be cutting it out using Love from Lizzie's stitched rectangle die set, the smallest rectangle. For my first set of cards, the washi tape roll I'm using is the pre-cut Zephyr Bloom in the washi tape. And here's a look at all the design before it starts to repeat. So you really do have quite the variety on this roll. I've already cut out 2 of the Postage Collage die cuts, and I used some banana paper from my stash. I'll be inking the edges using Distress Oxide Walnut Stain ink, and I'm inking on a magnetic Glassboard from Glassboard Studio. It's super easy to clean up. To hold the ink pad in place, I'm using one of their MagInk Trays, and since this one isn't designed to fit the square ink pads, I have a little fix by inserting one of their MiniPawn Magnets inside the MagInk Tray. If you're interested in any products from Glassboard Studio, make sure to use my discount code Kristie to save 20%, and that 20% only lasts through March 2026. Starting in April, the discount code will take off 15%, so now is the perfect time to shop at Glassboard Studio. I'm inking the outside edge of the Postage Collage die cut and also a little bit along the small circle cutouts. Now before moving on, I need to clean up my glass mat. I'll simply spritz it with water, then wipe it clean and dry using Scrapbook.com's Crafty Cleanup Cloth. Waffle Flowers Postage Collage collection includes a wide variety of different stencils that are designed to fit perfectly inside each of the rectangles on this set. But you can also use stamp images, die cuts. I've used rub-ons before. And this time I'll use some of the washi tape images. I think the colors on this set look so pretty on the banana paper. It's a cream color with lots of speckles. Not every image on this washi tape roll will fit inside the different rectangles of the Postage Collage die, so I am going back and forth trying to select the ones that will work. For the first design, decided to select 3 of the butterflies. The washi tape is slightly transparent, so you will be able to see some of the design from the paper or cardstock you're using. So with many of the images I'm adding, you can see a little bit of that speckle design showing through on the image. And with some designs, you may not want that look, but for this set, I think it really adds beautiful detail. In the lower left-hand corner, I'm using one of the images that won't quite fit, so I did a little bit of a trim, added it in that lower corner, and then I used that leftover piece of that little curve and just added it on top. Washi tape layers beautifully, and you can use it to create some lovely scenes on your card or project. So now I'll move on to the other Postage Collage die cut, and I'm using more of the designs from this first washi tape roll. For this card, I'll also add 3 of the butterflies, then some florals and foliage pieces. In the middle bottom rectangle, I'm adding 3 different washi tape images, just some of the smaller pieces. In the very lower right-hand corner, I'm adding a green butterfly. There are 4 different butterfly colors on this set. There's the yellow, the green, this light orange peach color, and also the light teal like I use on the first card. And for the flower I'm adding on the right side, it is just a little bit too long. So with a pair of scissors, I'll trim off the extra so that bottom lines up closely with the stitch detail of that rectangle. I'll add a yellow butterfly in the upper middle rectangle. And I'm trying to decide what to put in the upper left-hand corner. There are just so many beautiful designs. I'll select another little curved foliage piece with some little flowers. And I know there's a small flower on this roll that I'll put above that little curved foliage piece. But it takes me a minute to find that small flower. I'll also be adding one more little foliage piece next to the yellow flower on the right side. And here's the foliage piece I'm going to add. Now right now it's way too long. I really just want to fill in some of that empty area on the right side of the card. So I will trim off the bottom, and it's still too tall, so I'll trim off a little bit more. Now I'll adhere down with that cut edge right above the stitch detail. And I'm still looking for that little flower and finally found it, and I'll add it in the upper left-hand corner. So there are the first 2 Postage Collage die cuts. This is a great way to use many different images on one card. I'll layer both of the Postage Collage die cuts on some dark brown cardstock. And this cardstock is from Arden Creative Studio. It's the coffee bean color. One side has the linen texture and the other is smooth. I'm putting it on the linen texture side. To adhere it down, I'll put barely art glue on the back, making sure to get all those outside edges. Then I'll layer it on the brown cardstock. Then I'll place a large acrylic block on top, let that sit for a moment, and that'll help everything lay nice and flat when it dries. Now I'll glue the other Postage Collage die cut on the brown cardstock, and the brown cardstock layer is 5 1/4 of an inch by 4 inches. I'll place the acrylic block on top, and now I'll layer both of these panels on more colored cardstock. This first card, I'm using some light yellow cardstock, and this is some cardstock from my stash. I'm not sure of the brand or color name. It also has a linen texture finish on one side, smooth on the other. Since I already have the linen texture showing for the brown cardstock border, for the yellow, I'll use the smooth side. Then I'll put adhesive on the back and add my card front onto a card base. For the other card, I'm layering it on some green cardstock. And this is also cardstock from my stash. I've probably had it in my craft room for well over 10 years. The yellow and green cardstock layers are A2 size, 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches. We'll put adhesive on the back and add my card front onto a card base. For a sentiment, I'm adding a happy hello, and I'm using the same sentiment for all the cards. I've already stamped and cut this out. The ink color is from scrapbook.com. It's the dark chocolate ink. It's one of my favorite dark brown ink colors. I love using general sentiments, and my favorite is a happy hello. I send a lot of my cards to Cards for Kindness, and one of their most requested card themes is a happy hello. So I thought I would focus on that sentiment for this set of cards. And I'll probably send off a box to Cards for Kindness in the next week or two. I think I have plenty to fill a box. And I will add a link for Cards for Kindness if you want to check them out. For the two cards, I'm adding the sentiment in different areas. For the card on the left, I put it on the right side, and the card on the right, I put it on the left side. I selected areas where it wasn't covering a lot of the images. So there is my finished card, and I was having so much fun, I ended up making 5 of each design. And with this roll of washi tape, the designs repeated 5 times, so I actually couldn't make any more than 5 of each. For the next set of cards, I'm using the same Postage Collage die, and this time I'm using the Clover Haze washi tape. So I've already gone ahead and inked the outside edge and a little bit of the inside of the die cut, and now I'll add different images inside the rectangles. This washi tape roll includes tons of gorgeous florals, foliage. There's the spring hat, the sweet little bunnies. There are even a few images with baby clothes, which would be super cute for a new baby card. I'm focusing on the florals, and one of the cards I'll add a bunny. If the images don't fit perfectly inside the stitched rectangles, no worries, I'll just trim off either the bottom. For this one flower, I trimmed off the right side. Next to the larger flower, I added one of the branches, and this is another one I needed to cut down. I'll put an individual flower in the lower left-hand corner on the right card. And on the left card, I'm adding this single sweet little bunny. And for the bunny, I put it a little bit lower in the rectangle. That way there was enough space above it to add the sentiment. I think the cards would be beautiful without a sentiment, but if you are adding one, make sure you leave an area where you won't be covering up a lot of the beautiful designs. Someday I do plan on using the stencils that go with the dies, but for now I'll just add some beautiful washi tape images. So there are the next 2 designs finished, and I'll layer both of those die cuts on the same dark brown cardstock and then again on some light yellow cardstock. Using the same sentiment, a happy hello. For the card on the right, I'll put the sentiment on the right side, and then the card on the left, I'm putting it on the left side. Just trying to find an area where I don't cover up a lot of the images. You could add bling or foam dimension, but I decided to keep all the cards nice and flat. So there are my finished cards, and just like before, I made 5 of each. I think this set of cards would work perfectly for Easter or Mother's Day cards. Simply stamp that sentiment on the inside. For the rest of my cards, I'm using the Auric Rose washi tape sticker set. And for this set of cards, I'm also using the Postage Collage die. This time I cut it out from white cardstock, and I'm not inking the edge. I'm keeping it that nice bright white color. As I mentioned earlier, there aren't as many designs on each roll. I think they start to repeat around 14 or 15 inches. Most of the images fit beautifully inside the stitched rectangles of the Postage Collage die cut. There are some that are a little bit too big, You can easily trim them down. Inside the narrow rectangle on the right side, I added this trio of flowers. The largest one is black with all that gorgeous gold on it. In the top center, this beautiful orange and pink flower. And all of the images have some of the gold gilded detail. And that gold does not rub off. I wiped it with my finger. I know sometimes when that gold detail is added, it does easily wipe off, but not with these designs. For the final image, putting it in the upper left-hand corner, it's too long for this small rectangle, but no worries, I'll just trim off the bottom. And I'm also trimming off a little bit on the side so it doesn't go over the cutout circles. For this set of cards, I'm layering it on black cardstock first, and I cut the black cardstock a little bit smaller than the dark brown I used for the first set of cards. This piece is 5 1/8 of an inch by 3 7/8 of an inch. I'll put glue on the back, center the Postage Collage die cut on the black cardstock, and I will place the large acrylic block on top and let that sit for a moment. Now I'll layer this piece on some light pink cardstock. And this light pink cardstock is from Paper Tray ink. It's their sweet blush color. It matches beautifully with some of the light pink color on the flowers. And I cut that piece to A2 size. I'll put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base. For a sentiment, I'm using the same one, a happy hello. I use black ink, stamped it on the same sweet blush cardstock color, and I'll layer that piece on black cardstock. I'll put glue on the back and add the sentiment on the right side. Make sure to get that on nice and straight before the glue dries completely. So there is my finished card, and just like all the others, I made 5 of each design. So from the 2 different sticker rolls I showed earlier in the video, I made 2 different designs. So here are the first 2, and then the next 2, this is featuring another sticker roll from that same set. I love how the cards turned out. The gold gilding really adds a lovely detail. This would be another great set to use for Mother's Day cards. I give cards to residents at a nearby retirement home, so I always bring a bunch of Mother's Day cards. I'll add a sentiment on the inside, so it's basically happy mail for the residents. But I'm still planning on sending most of these cards to Cards for Kindness. Now here's another look at the 40 cards I made using some beautiful floral washi tape designs from the Washi Tape Shop, along with Waffle Flowers Postage Collage die, the A2 size. I had so much fun making the cards. I actually wanted to make more, but I know I have other projects I need to work on. So I decided to end with 40 cards. But I do plan on pulling out the Postage Collage die again, and maybe I'll use one of the stencil sets next time. If you are interested in any of the products I used in this video, I do have links in the description box below. And if you are shopping at the Washi Tape Shop, don't forget to use my code KristieM10 to save 10%. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.